Hey guys, today I'm very excited to launch a new product for your Funwheel. And this brings us ever closer to having a complete kit to make a Funwheel for beginners. Typically, I would tell people to just use those small pressure sensors that you get on Amazon to make a DIY pressure sensor, but they're just too small, unreliable, overly expensive, and they're just a pain to put on your foot plates. Not to mention there's a lot of wires running around on top of your footpad, so that kind of makes it unreliable and it makes your footpad looks ugly. Taking all these things into consideration, I designed the Stompies. Now, these PCBs are from my favorite PCB manufacturer, PCBWay. If you're looking into prototyping your own PCB, you can design and upload your files on PCBWay.com and get an instant quote. Most simple PCBs start from just $5 and they've got super fast shipping as well. So a big thank you to PCBWay for being my continued support so I can bring you videos like these. Let's open these vacuum sealed packaging and look at these hot rod red and gold. If you know where that color scheme is from, let me know in the comments below. Let's take a closer look at these. Compared to my previous prototypes, these are like 30% bigger, so they cover almost the entire footplate, which means you can stand on them reliably and not have to worry about cutouts. They also have a lot more copper than before, so that means they're more sensitive, and they are much thinner, which means they are more flexible, so they take the shape of the footplate and don't just stick out. This is the footpad I printed, and of course you get this STL file free if you order the Funwheel kit, and this is designed to fit the Stompies perfectly. It's got the perfect fit and the perfect height, so all you gotta do is print these footplates and stick the Stompie on there. Now notice how the Stompies cover such a large area and are super thin and flexible. The other advantage is that there are no wires running on top of the footplate, so it's super flush everywhere and there's nothing poking out. The connectors are simplified at the bottom with just 3 pads, and the 3-volt is right in the middle, so it's idiot proof. All you gotta do is connect the middle pin on the JST connector that ships with the Stompies. That goes in the middle, and the other 2 wires, ADC1 and ADC2, can be connected in any order and are interchangeable. Then just fill the whole thing with hot glue and that's it. You've got yourself some super reliable Stompies. Now while putting them on, I do suggest you put some really thin glue on there, or maybe just a little bit of silicone or carpet tape, anything that's really thin and just makes them stick properly. And you can do the same to stick the velostat on top. What I also do is put a little bit of tape on top of the velostat so that the velostat isn't sticking directly to the grip tape. Now I tested these with a couple of velostats, and let me show you the testing.
And I've been testing different kinds of velostats to see which one I'm going to ship, and that's the reason the Stompies haven't shipped yet. Once I decide on which one I'm going to ship with the Stompies, they're going to ship almost the next day. Anyway, I think I have tested them, and I think I've selected which velostat to ship. So this shiny velostat is the one that you get from Adafruit, and most of you in the US that have made the DIY footpads, footpad sensors, whatever you want to call them. This is the kind of velostat that most of you got. Works pretty well. I've been using that for a long time. But then this matte finish type of a velostat is the new velostat that I'm going to provide to you guys, and it's going to be cut like this, 150 by 150, and it's going to come with a 3-pin JST PH connector. So you're going to get these 3 things in the package, and for those of you who've already ordered the Stompies at a discounted price, which is just the price of the PCB, which is around $25, I'm going to honor my sale, and I'm going to provide these free of cost to you anyway. So I've just increased the price of the Stompies a little bit, maybe $3 or $4, and I've included all these three things. the Stompies, the Velostat, and the JST cable. Alright, so I've got my vest tool open, and I've got my Velostat here. So let's try the Adafruit Velostat that I've been using and most of you have been using. So I'm going to connect my vest, which you can see, to my power supply. Turn it on, connect my USB cable. Again, you can't see it, but you can take my word for it. And that's the ding, so let me connect it. It's going to say connected at the bottom. Alright, you can see the ADC switches are active, but they're at 0 because we're not pressing them. So let's press both of them, and you see that it's around 2.5 volts when you press them, and when you don't press them, they're 0, and both of them work independently. That's great. Now let's test the other one. I found that this one is a bit less resistive, so it gives a higher value. It's actually a little more resistive, so it gives a lower value when you press it. Just 2.1, 2.2 volts, but that's okay. You can always go to your fault tab, and you can select or define what voltage you want the switches to turn on. So in this case, when I press them, when I press the switch, it goes to around 2.2 volts. So what I'm going to do is have my ADC switches at around 2 volts to turn on at 2 volts, and that would work perfectly. The connection for a little bit, and let me turn my vest off, because these things are conductive, so they give you a little bit of a jolt. So as you can see, the connection is very neat. Just get a 3-pin connector, and that's going to come with the Stompies. It's not going to be soldered because I don't want to have all the fun by myself. I want you guys to have a little bit of fun. So you can go ahead and solder these 3 pins to the 3-pin connector, and the best part is it doesn't matter which orientation it is, as long as the middle black or whatever color it is in your case is connected to 3 volts. The other 2 can be connected in any order, and the same goes for the VESC. Now that the VESC has a dedicated footpad connector, you can see I've connected it the other way around. Normally all these PH male connectors are connected with the tab facing upwards, but here you can see the tab is facing downwards, and that's the beauty of it. It doesn't matter whether you connect it this way or you connect it this way, because what you're essentially doing is just flipping ADC1 and ADC2, which doesn't matter as long as 3 volt is in the middle. So when all is said and done, this is how convenient your footpads should be. So you can see there's wires coming off, going directly into the dedicated connector of your VESC. So you can just plug it out, and I've just put a lot of hot glue in there so that the solder doesn't come off, and that's it. That's your footpad. And look how neat the wiring is with the Bluetooth module and the dedicated connector. You don't have to have wires for both of these coming off and then Bluetooth modules dangling around the enclosure. So yeah, that's how it is. The Stompies are ready to ship at the moment, and they are available in the fungineers.tech store. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the Stompies. Keep fungineering, and I'll see you next time.